Hello, hello, hello. This is Tamika Peters, President and CEO of Grow Your Nonprofit, where we help startups, small and stagnant nonprofits grow through fundraising strategy, strategic planning, and so much more. Guys, today you're in for a treat. I have my special guest here, Chris. He is with the Lee Health Foundation. He will share information about the foundation, how are they sustainable, and how they have grown their nonprofit since 1995. But before we get started, I like to thank the sponsors of my podcast. Trinity Life Foundation Naples, helping at-risk youth through their enrichment programs. AVID, that stands for the Associations of Haitians Living Abroad. They just opened an amazing support center right here in the beautiful Fort Myers, where they will help you with immigration support, utility billing, and English as a second language. VaxTruths, they just received a grant from the CDC to raise awareness of COVID-19 and vaccine resources in the Black and Brown communities. Best Insurance USA, helping you navigate Florida Blue health insurance provider through health insurance, life insurance, business insurance, and so much more. Last but not least, Premier Mobile Health Services, your premier health services road to success for your health. So, like I said, my special guest here, Chris. How are you doing, Chris?
I'm great, Tamika. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much. It's been long overdue. We've known each other for, I would say, at least 5 years, maybe.
I would think so.
Through the Association of Fundraising Professionals. We both serve on the board. And a little birdie told me that you're the incoming president. Is that true?
I think later tonight I will be installed as the incoming president.
Really? How did they convince you to do that?
You know, I do think that there is an obligation of all of us to give back in multiple ways to our community. And I've always thought that and encouraged our people to give back in ways that support maybe their faith community, maybe their professional community, general community, or their passions. And so one of the things I wanted to give back to was my profession. The Association of Fundraising Professionals is a good organization in our region. So I got more involved with them over the last couple of years, and they invited me to take the leadership role for 24, and they say if you want something done, give it to a busy person.
That's right.
I guess I got voluntold.
You're right. You're absolutely correct, because they will find it. They'll find a way to get it done, and you're definitely that person. So congratulations.
Thanks. And it's an organization full of people who are passionate about making a difference. And how great is it to work with a board and fellow fundraising professionals who are looking to advance our community, looking to generate resources that take care of people, that enhance our nonprofits, grow our nonprofits like you're so into. So getting to surround myself with that level of people who are committed to that fills my cup. These are great people. Yes,
that's very important. And the whole nonprofit world it's just really, truly amazing, because I didn't discover nonprofit world, I think, until maybe 2014 when I was recruited to the nonprofit world. I had no idea that you could actually make a profession out of it. The Association of Fundraising Professionals. I'm also a member of the Planned Giving Council of Lee County. And there's so many there are conventions, and it's a whole sector. The nonprofit world is a whole sector, but I don't think it necessarily gets the respect that it deserves. I think people think, like, for example, me as a consultant for nonprofits, people always ask me, how do I make my money? Well, my clients pay me, because nonprofits are businesses, and they do have a budget, and they can utilize the help, especially if it's a new or startup nonprofit, or a nonprofit that's stagnant, or organization that's growing and maybe they need ongoing training and development. But yes, they do have a budget, and guess what? You can make a great living in the nonprofit world. So I know we've kind of got off track a little bit, because we always like to start the podcast off with telling us a little bit about yourself. So tell us a little about your background, your experience, and how you came to work for Lee Health Foundation.
It's a long and winding journey.
Give us the shorter version.
You know, I really thought when I went into college that I was going to move to Wall Street and make a fortune.
Really?
I went into finance and accounting as an undergraduate, and started at a firm that was if there's off Broadway, this was off Wall Street.
Off Wall Street.
Off Wall Street.
Interesting.
And I spent a year there and realized it wasn't wasn't filling my cup, and I got an opportunity to move into higher education through my brother-in-law, who worked at Princeton University. So that began my academic journey, and I should say a journey in academia. And I worked at Princeton University, Columbia University, Case Western Reserve University, Tufts University, and then finally took the role as a VP for advancement down here at Florida Gulf Coast University about 10 years ago, right around Dunk City when FGCU hit the big time.
Yes.
I joined them, and it was a wonderful 6-year run in education. So I spent a total of about 25 years in higher education. And then if you are in higher education, you believe that continual growth and learning is a lifetime experience.
Right.
And after 6 years, I thought, well, how can I personally continue to grow and develop? And I loved the profession I was in. I love this region, and I wanted to stay here. And so moving from higher education to healthcare was the learning opportunity that I was looking for.
Interesting.
And so while I'm doing the same profession, I'm doing it in an entirely different industry. So I had to learn healthcare after spending so much time in higher education. And I'll say, after 4.5 years in healthcare, I learn every single day.
I know you do. I was just thinking that.
I did not.
Right.
You don't move in and immediately learn it all. It is going to continually challenge me professionally and personally to understand this very complex business. And then how do we use that business to help others, which is really my passion.
How do we use that business to help others? That's really important. I know when I first started in the nonprofit world, I felt like first, I questioned why they hired me because, I came from government and I didn't feel like I had the experience in the nonprofit world. But when I thought about it, I was serving on boards. I was helping with events for nonprofits. But to me, it was just fun. And I didn't know. But the executive director of the organization was watching me. She said, well, Tamika, I see you everywhere. You have a lot of contacts. You can do it. And they sent me to the Lilly Indiana School of Philanthropy, where I got my fundraising certificate. Then I came back, and I used to beat myself up. I feel like I'm not making a difference. But the more and more I thought about it, I said, well, I'm passionate about the organization. I'm passionate about their mission. Give yourself time, because you can get all the education you want, but the experience trumps it all. You get in there, you're passionate about it. You're eager to learn. Like you said, being a lifelong learner makes a huge difference.
Yes. I think society needs the three-legged stool. We need a very successful private sector.
Yes.
I'm a capitalist, and I believe in capitalism, and I believe that we have the greatest country in the world to drive capitalism in the private sector. I believe that you need a strong public sector, right? We need government.
Right.
We need security and roads and laws and organization. And the third leg of that stool is the nonprofit sector.
Right.
And I think there's so many nonprofits doing so much good work that if any of those three legs get out of balance, our society gets out of balance. And so the opportunity to apply private sector learnings and opportunities like you did into the nonprofit sector, and now taking the nonprofit and going back into private sector to help those nonprofits, I think is a wonderful balance.
Right.
And we need to understand and help our nonprofits appreciate the value of the private enterprises, the value of the public sector, and the nonprofit's role in balancing society like that.
Well, they're all interconnected when you think about it. So nonprofit is a business. The only difference is not nonprofit status, it's tax exemption status. But a nonprofit should absolutely apply the business principles to its nonprofits. And then there's the government piece of it. Some government agencies do have grant opportunities, or maybe federal grants are filtered through the governmental public sector, in which in turn is provided to nonprofits in way of grants. So they're all interconnected. And then the businesses I've noticed who have a philanthropic arm, because they're going to pay taxes anyway, they look like the good guy. They become a sponsor of an event or donate to a nonprofit. They realize that a tax break and also they're making an impact, right? So whatever mission they feel that's important, that aligns with their mission, they could support that nonprofit. So going back to Lee Health Foundation, it was founded in 1995. So the question is, why was it important for Lee Health, which is also a nonprofit, one of the largest nonprofits in the country, to form a foundation?
So let me give you a little history. The Lee Health was actually founded in 1916, right in downtown Fort Myers. And for about 50 years operated as a nonprofit. In 1968, we actually converted Lee Memorial Health System at the time to a governmental entity, and it remains so today. So there are things that we can do as a governmental entity that are very beneficial to the citizens of Lee County. And at some point in the 90s, it was determined that in order to advance that healthcare even further, to grow that governmental entity, we needed to add a foundation to the Lee Memorial Health System. And so the Lee Memorial Health System Foundation was created. Now all that's been rebranded as Lee Health. We are a much, much bigger organization in the last 20 years, the addition of Cape Coral Hospital, the addition of Gulf Coast Medical Center, the building of the Golisano Children's Hospital, the expansion of Lee Memorial Hospital downtown, and the addition of Health Park, right? And grown our physician practice from 60 or 70 physicians to now 700, 800 physicians. It's a real growth. Mirrors the growth of Lee County. So in our world, fundraising, the foundation is around advancement, right? That's a term of our trade. Fundraising cheapens it. Advancement is a little bit better. And advancement means moving forward. And so as Lee County, as Southwest Florida continues to grow, how are we going to move forward in healthcare? And so we established the Lee Health Foundation to help Lee Health advance healthcare in Southwest Florida. And that means inviting people in to our mission, right? So going out, finding volunteers, finding donors who believe in advancing the mission of Lee Health to provide the safety net health services to all citizens of Lee County. And we've been blessed that through the foundation, people have been investing in the advancement of healthcare for Southwest Florida. So now you look at the healthcare, and we believe it's as good as anything in the country.
Absolutely.
So it's only because the private sector and the public sector and the nonprofit sector came together to advance healthcare for Southwest Florida. It is a true testament of the three-legged stool.
That is absolutely correct. So in order to grow and be sustainable, in which Lee Health is doing a fantastic job, because every time I look around, the Lee Health, the name is everywhere.
Good.
But it takes great leadership and strategic planning. What strategies have you guys used to know Lee County is projected to have 1 million residents, right, in the next, 10 years, maybe?
Yes.
So is there, what's the secret sauce, I guess I should say? Is it a strategic plan that you come up with over a 10, 20-year horizon with the growth projection and what medical services need to be available when those people are here?
Yeah, we have an extensive strategic planning department and consumer insights and marketing departments that really look ahead to where we're going. We have great partnerships with the economic development staff at Lee County, with the Regional Economic Research Institute at FGCU, which looks ahead, population changes. What I would like to say is that we've got a 10 or 20-year strategic plan, but the reality of healthcare in America today is that it is so extremely dynamic that looking out beyond 4 or 5 years is extremely difficult. Just for instance, the technology, the growth in AI, the growth in remote patient monitoring and telehealth, which got elevated during the pandemic, has transformed healthcare. So we like to think in a 3 to 5 year time frame. We keep our eye on that 10 and 20 year horizon. if you're going to build a hospital, we're going to expand in Fort Myers and build an entirely new campus in Fort Myers. That's a 30 or 40 year investment. So we're looking out before we make that investment of where are things going to go over the next 30 or 40 years, because you got to pay that mortgage for the next 30 years.
Absolutely.
So you don't want to be wrong.
Absolutely.
But we have a great strategic planning partnership and leadership and then again, engaging with our community partners to understand where we're going.
Being very involved in the community is very important. You mentioned the partnerships with the EDC and so many other organizations. And I know a lot of grantors are looking for nonprofits to partner with other organizations. If it's not grants, even if it's I wouldn't really say events, but on other things to come together. And I know a lot of grantors don't like to see duplication of services. What makes you different? What makes you stand out from the crowd? So what makes Lee Health stand out from the crowd? Because there are a few other competitors. They're not as big as Lee Health. But what makes Lee Health stand out from the crowd and continue to experience such a great growth?
Well, I think our size and breadth and depth make us unique in Southwest Florida. We have over 14,000 employees. We have over 100 locations. We have 107 years of experience here.
Yes,
so Lee Health is just deeply embedded into Southwest Florida. We looked at our community partnerships just in the last 6 months, and we believe we're in relationship with between 250 and 300 different organizations around, whether those are governmental agencies, nonprofits, for-profit businesses. And what we're trying to do is find ways where we can take the lead and Lee Health can take the lead, and in certain areas where we need to. Right. But also, where can we partner where others can take the lead?
Right.
We are very happy if a societal need is out there and someone is better prepared to take that we find a way to support them in doing that. We're a big business too.
Right.
Our 14,000 employees have incredible numbers of people in the Lee County School District, for instance. We want the school district to be successful because it benefits us as an employer. So what can we do to help the school district? What can we do to help FGCU or Junior Achievement or the American Heart Association provide their missions to our community? That's being a good community steward, is to invest in other nonprofits. So your company is to grow your nonprofit. We support probably 80 to 100 different nonprofits every year with sponsorships and support, and in the ways that they can advance their mission, which improves the lives of Southwest Florida overall. So we're a partner as much as we are a nonprofit.
Right. And I like what you said about partnerships, and if another organization can do something better, you partner with them. So that's one of the things that I believe in, working on your business and not in your business, because you can't scale if you try to do everything yourself. So having someone, we actually had the conversation earlier about partnership. We talked about our spouses, having someone strong where you're weak, and they don't have, because you don't have to know it all and be it all, but find the people who have the skills, talents, and passion for that other prong and help them take the lead. So before we wrap up, I told you the time goes by so fast. But before we wrap up, what advice can you get to a nonprofit that's starting, or they have a nonprofit and they seem to be struggling? What streams of income should they be putting into place to become a sustainable nonprofit?
So I think that the first thing is to strengthen your board and your advisors. And there's an old saying in fundraising, if you ask for their money, they'll give you their advice. And if you ask for their advice, they'll give you their money. And so I think it's absolutely critical to go out, build a strong board, make sure that they're working on your behalf, and that they are providing you, I always say, their advice, their advocacy, and their advancement, right? That they're investing in you personally. So start with a board that has your back and support supports your mission. I think that to understand that around every corner is a potential partnership. Every avenue is out there for you, whether it's grants or e-solicitations or events or major gifts. You're probably just a one investor or two investors away from success.
Yes.
And then I would say never forget your mission. Like, believe in yourself and believe in your mission and your desire to make a difference. And that belief and that passion will win the day. People will buy into you if they believe in you and they believe in your mission.
Very important, very important. So if someone wanted to reach out to you, Chris, to donate $1 million to Lee Health Foundation, how would they reach you?
They would call my cell phone or email me or find me at an event. Or I believe that as advancement professionals, we are in and of the community. I hope that I am in and of the community, out there, accessible. My business card has my cell phone, and you can reach me 24/7. And so I think that's part of our role, is to just be accessible to the people who want to invest and make a difference. You have to be ready and willing and able to take advantage of their generosity.
And can you mention it so that it'll appear on the screen? So
well, my cell phone is 216-337-2197.
Okay.
That's a Cleveland number. Don't be thrown off on that. That's 25-year-old cell phone number. And my email is chris.simoneau@leehealth.org.
Okay, guys, you heard it here first. Chris, thank you so much for your time.
It's a pleasure being here. Thank you.
Guys, you heard it here. A major nonprofit that's been around since 1916. The foundation was formed in 1995, and they are continuing to grow with over 14,000 employees. This is a great example. I would encourage you to visit their website of how this nonprofit has different partnerships. It is running their nonprofit like a business, and it believes in partnerships and strategic planning. So I hope that you learned something that you could take and implement into your nonprofit. And if you have any questions, please reach out to us, give us a call. Don't forget the Grow Your Nonprofit merch. We do have our Etsy store where you can see mugs and shirts and really great things to support the nonprofit world. So this is Tamika. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and stay tuned for more Grow Your Nonprofit podcast episodes. Introducing the Grow Your Nonprofit merch in our Etsy store. So go on over to our Etsy store today and explore our collection. Pick your favorites. By doing so, you're not only elevating your style, but also contributing to the Grow Your Nonprofit mission. Thank you for being part of our community, and thank you for your dedication to making a difference. We appreciate your support, and we can't wait to see you rocking our Grow Your Nonprofit merch. Now stay tuned for more empowering content on Grow Your Nonprofit podcast. And until our next time, keep growing and keep giving.